Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. Something a little bit different on this injector job, something that you're probably less familiar with. A lot of people should be. We've seen plenty of them over the years. The Euro 3, the earlier, only in the 05, 06 Hilux. So 2005 Hilux in Australia and 06 until halfway. So different injectors, different fuel pipes. As you can see, the configuration and the way they're all bent a little bit different. It's an older Hilux. Obviously he likes playing in the mud and the bog holes. Got some good mud staining going on there, right? So we'll give it all a good clean up as all the components we've got off. But you know how it works. I mean, you got to respect the vehicle if you want. We'll respect it to the same level as what you do, basically. So those people that love their vehicles, that keep them clean and bring them in Mickey Mouse, that's what we do. We love them and keep them clean like that as well and go above and beyond. And these ones that it's not too bad. It's had a bit of a clean up. You can see. Look at the crud around those injector solenoids, you know. It's had a bit of a cleanup. We believe, from what I've seen so far, what do you reckon? Injector's never been out, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, we're confident the injectors have never been out. The alignment's too good. There's not a mark on the pipes, even though they're you know, coated in a mud stain anyway, a mud stain coating, special finish.
Nice and clean.
Yeah, exactly, on the clamps and stuff like that. Right, you can see. Anyway, that's the good news, the bad news, and there's going to be a lot of more good news and bad news, and it might not all fit in this video simply because we believe these. Look, every time I start this vehicle, it blows smoke. I'm talking blue smoke. Blue smoke's oil. So it's time to recap on some of the problems that you can have with these vehicles if you don't understand the correct maintenance program. So I'm going to quickly run through what the standard maintenance related to the injectors and stuff like that is on these engines by the book. So by Toyota or by Denso or by these injection systems, the engine design, whatever the case it may be. Every 40,000 kilometers, what they wanted you to do was check the valve clearances, right? So valve clearances, you know, the clearance between the lifters and the camshaft, which is down here underneath this cover here, which you've seen before. Every 40,000 k's they want you to check that, and to do so, obviously, you have to take the valve cover off. To do so, you have to take these fuel pipes off, see, because they go through the valve cover. It's a bit of a dumb design, isn't it? It's not too bad. Whoever did that, maybe they weren't thinking too hard, because they've got better ways of doing things since then, right? So, bit of a dumb idea, but you know, it works okay as long as you understand. But specialising in these for many years, we've learnt a number of things, and one of them is, as it says in the book, don't risk contamination to this fuel system. Now, this is a perfect example. What's the chances we're going to get those pipes out after 260,000 k's and 17 years of motoring, and none of the crud that's in? We see all that bits of dust and dirt aside, none of that's going to fall into the injectors. The only reason this thing's still going and these injectors are even, they're flogged, they're worn and flogged, but the only reason they're reasonable is because it's a Euro 3, so you've got less EGR flow. We'll have a look in there later, you might be surprised. There's no plate, there's no catch can over here. There's plenty of other gear, but there's no catch can or plate or anything like that. But what we've learned is the valve clearances generally don't go out. Now, you do need to check them, but not every 40,000. It's really important, if we've done your injectors or supplied your injector kit, or even if we haven't, that you've done your injectors and you've changed your pipes and all that sort of thing, you've done it right. You know, new injectors equals new fuel pipes, in bold in the workshop manual, same as it right near where it says don't risk contamination, you know. So it's calculated risk. Basically, every time you take these pipes off here, even if it's reasonably clean, debris can get to the inlet of the injectors, okay? And obviously it can cause problems with the injectors. There's a lot of vehicles, all these ones where we do injectors sometimes, let's say under 100,000 or 100 to 150, and they've got a knocking or a noise where customers come in at 90,000 and say, look, it just doesn't sound right. And I'm just thinking, mate, you're dreaming, you're too fussy, mate, you know, stop wasting your money. And they go, no, you know, and I don't want to be the guy that says just leave it and ends up causing problems either. So I listen. So anyway, the ones we've done, that's why I'm quite confident when this happens, because the ones we've done the job on, and they go, oh, that's better, you know, it's all, yeah, no, that knocking noise, and you know, they know their cars better than me. I know what's normal and what's not, but I always say it, the customer knows their vehicle better than I do. They drive it every day, every morning, hot, cold, different temperatures. For me to do that amount of road testing, it would be very time consuming. And you know, it's all going to be caused by, we've followed up many times where after the 40 or after the 80,000, what they do, we've got all the evidence, it's all in the videos. Check the injector information playlist, where it's sort of covering old ground here, but when these pipes get they don't take the pipes off, because look, it's a bit hard to get down to that end. On the Euro 3 is probably one of the easier ones, but it's hard to get down to the other end. So what they do, they take off these clamps here maybe, and they undo that pipe there maybe, and whether they do it on their own or get the next door neighbour in the next bay to help, can you hold the fuel pipes back for me? And they undo the valve cover and they drag the valve cover out from under the pipes, because we've seen it a number of times before, and we see all the scratches around here on the valve cover. You've seen it in other videos. Again, that injector information playlist, check it out if you want to get to understand these. And they drag the valve cover out. You know, all the dirt and everything's getting all over the pipes and on the injector inlets, and you know, you're lucky if you don't have problems. So if you've done your injectors, make sure if you do take your vehicle for a service, and I think that if you've done your own injectors, you're not taking it for a service. So it's more people that have said, you know, they just want to pay someone to do the work. So if you've come to us for injectors, or one of our workshop partners, right, just pausing for a minute, right, just pausing for a moment there, got a little bit distracted for a minute, but it's all good. But if we've done the injectors, or one of our workshop partners, you know, we don't then want you to keep taking it to someone else for a service without telling them at every 40,000 where the book says check valve clearances, because they're just going to do it by the book. Maybe they might, because you're telling me, oh, they're really good, I've got these guys, you can trust them, they're really good. Look, I didn't trust them to do the injectors, you've said, but I trust them to do the service. So if they're that good, then at every 40,000, because they're following the book, because they're good boys or girls, they might just pull your fuel pipes off and contaminate you, all that work, that thousands of dollars of work we've done as prevention to keep running in peak condition. It's no longer running in peak condition. So just be aware of that. Say, whatever you do, don't check the valve clearances, don't check the fuel pipes, okay? We check the valve clearances when we replace injectors. That's how often the valve clearances need to be checked on 1kds. They need to be checked when you replace injectors. Why? Well, you've got the cover off, you're replacing the injectors, they still won't be out, but that's why we just leave the thing alone, leave it sealed until then, and when you do the whole big job and you do it properly. Now the only thing that needs to be done before then, well, you know that E-jar thing, you can keep cleaning it out, keep cleaning it out, keep cleaning it out, keep cleaning it out, or you can put a solution in place. And you know, we've talked about that. Check out all our playlists, we'll cover all those subjects of what you want to know about there. So this one, 260,000, the whole point of the story, so there's a point to the story and sharing the info for the people that missed it. Some people are new to the channel. For somebody at least, hey, put it in the comments if this is your first video or you've seen on 4x4 Diesel. I'm curious to know, is this your first video? And do you like it or not? Check out the playlist before you answer maybe. Check out some other videos, because people love it. Check out the comments. This is a channel you want to subscribe to, turn the bell on and not miss this information. It's genuine information. Not here to try and sell you anything. We can supply the injector kits if you're in Australia, but you know, it doesn't bother me. We're maxed out supplying as many as we can. It's not like we can do more, so we can only help the people that listen, okay? But we want to help as many people as we can, even if you've got to go and get your injectors elsewhere. But like I said, beware of the counterfeit, beware of the remanufactured, beware of the other brands, make sure it's only brand new, genuine, and beware of the prices, because everything's going up, record inflation. You need fuel pipes, you need all the seals and gaskets, you need all the gear. That's what we supply in that kit, right? So I'm trying to tell you I don't sell you that. Now it's like I'm trying to sell you that. So let's stop talking about that. Right, so this one, 260,000 Ks and the injectors have never been out. That is a testament to how good these injector seats are. The engine's still running, but since it blows smoke on startup, blue smoke, what that is the oil leaking past the O-ring, because the O-ring's hardened, because the seat of the injectors started leaking. It's old, it's eroded, it's done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 times its designed life. I can tell you they last pretty good up to about 200,000. They might leak under 200. You've got to check your oil pickup. We'll be in contact with this client to clearly discuss whether he's checked his oil pickup, because with this one blowing smoke, the only reason that happens is the seats are leaking, the little seats under the bottom of the injector, right? When that happens, the compression comes up the injector, it hardens, it takes out the O-ring, that stops the oil from coming down. The oil comes down, then it gets cooked and baked. All those little bits of black carbon, that ends up pushing back up into the oil gallery and getting to your oil pickup and blocking it, starves the engine of oil, and then bye-bye Sally, that's it, you're finished, right? Time for a new engine, because it's going to be cooked. So I suppose the story here is wait and see once we get, have a look at this, right? Euro 3, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I love your, look at that, look at the back of the elbow there. No plate, there's a bit down there because that's where the valve is on these. It's a bit different. See, the valve's not up here, the valve, see, they've just got a pipe. So if you come to get an injector kit from us, I need to know whether it's got an E-jar cooler or a pipe. This is the pipe, just here, right? And there's your valve right there, but you can see it's not built up like the other ones, all right? We're gonna get it apart further. It'll be in another video, but this is a big warning for anyone that's got one of these and they go, oh, my injector readings are good. Because we've got some other videos showing some injector readings on this and they weren't too bad, but I promise you right now, these injectors are flogged to death. They're throwing in heaps more fuel than they should. They're not working right. The whole timing and duration of the injection's all wrong, right? Right, wrong, and all of that. The injector seats are probably leaking. I could be wrong. It could be one of them, two of them, three of them, four of them, whatever the case may be. And did you miss it? I don't do E-jar cleans. Mate, love your work, mate. I reckon, I think we're about to see some action here when that comes off. So we'll just stick around a little bit longer and then we'll call it a video and then catch on the next one. Like I said, subscribe, turn the bell on so you don't miss the next one, because this one could get really interesting. And check our playlist. We got a 230k 120 Prado, and there's a number of those that the seats start leaking and the engine is cooked by 230,000 Ks. So if you're around the 2 to 250, 300 mark, yeah, you should be nervous. You better start watching some more videos. I hope you do. All the best. I hope you liked it. Hit the like button. Catch you on the next video.